Growing your own gooseberries is a truly wonderful experience. Imagine stepping into your garden and picking these tasty little fruits. They are perfect for pies, jams, or just eating fresh from the bush. Gooseberry plants are quite hardy and can reward you with delicious fruit for many years. This makes them a fantastic addition to any home garden. You get to control how they are grown, ensuring they are healthy and natural. These unique berries offer a taste that is hard to find in most stores. They can be sweet or tart, depending on the variety and ripeness. Growing them yourself means you get to experience their full flavor potential. Plus, there's a real sense of satisfaction in harvesting food you've nurtured. It connects you to the earth and the food you eat. Gooseberry bushes are not overly demanding plants once established. With a bit of care, they can become very productive. Many varieties can even be grown in containers on a patio. The effort you put in will be returned many times over in fresh, delicious berries. This guide will walk you through everything you need to know. Get ready to enjoy the simple pleasure of homegrown gooseberries. Gooseberries come in a surprising range of types and flavors. The most common colors are green, red, and yellow. Green varieties are often tartar, especially when picked early. They are excellent for cooking and making tangy pies or sauces. As they ripen fully, some green types can become sweeter. Red gooseberry varieties tend to be sweeter than the green ones. They are often preferred for eating fresh, straight from the bush. Their beautiful color also makes them very attractive in desserts. Some popular red varieties include Invicta and Hinomaki Red. Yellow gooseberries, sometimes called golden gooseberries, are generally very sweet. Varieties like Golden Drop are prized for their honey-like flavor. Exploring these different colors and flavors is part of the fun of growing gooseberries. Beyond color, gooseberry varieties also differ in size and texture. Some have smooth skin, while others might have fine hairs. When you are thinking about what to grow, consider how you want to use your berries. This will lead you to the perfect gooseberry for your needs. Choosing the right gooseberry variety is a key step for success. One of the first things to consider is your local climate. Gooseberries generally prefer cooler conditions. However, many varieties have been developed that can tolerate a range of climates. Check the plant tag or description for information on hardiness zones. Make sure the variety you select is well suited to your specific growing region. Disease resistance is another very important factor to consider. Powdery mildew can be a common issue for gooseberry plants. Thankfully, many modern varieties have good resistance to this disease. Look for names like Invicta, Pixwell, or Jean, which are known for their resilience. Think about the flavor and size of the fruit you want. As we discussed, some are tart and others are sweet. If you enjoy making pies, a tartar variety might be ideal. If you love snacking on fresh berries, a sweeter one would be better. Read descriptions carefully or ask for recommendations at your local nursery. Finally, consider the growth habit of the plant. Some gooseberry bushes grow more upright while others have a spreading habit. Taking the time to choose wisely at the start will pay off. Once you've chosen your gooseberry variety, it's time to pick the perfect spot. Most varieties will thrive in a location that receives full sun. This means at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight per day. However, in very hot climates, some afternoon shade can be beneficial. Good air circulation is also very important for gooseberry plants. Planting them where air can move freely helps to reduce the risk of fungal diseases. Avoid planting them too close to walls or dense shrubs that might block airflow. If you are planting multiple gooseberry bushes, make sure to space them appropriately. The location should also be free from competing tree roots. Large trees can rob your gooseberry bush of water and nutrients. Choose a spot where your gooseberry won't have to fight for resources. Also, consider the convenience for watering and harvesting. Think about the long-term size of the gooseberry bush. Ensure there is enough room for the plant to spread without overcrowding. Planning the location carefully sets the stage for a healthy and productive plant. Alright folks, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of soil preparation and planting your gooseberry bushes. Gooseberries really thrive in well-draining soil. They aren't big fans of having what we call wet feet, which is just a fancy way of saying their roots shouldn't sit in waterlogged soil. If you're dealing with heavy clay soil, don't worry. You'll want to improve its drainage by adding plenty of organic matter. Compost, well-rotted manure, or leaf mold are all excellent choices. Before you get to planting, it's a good idea to prepare the soil thoroughly. Dig a hole that's about twice as wide as the plant's root ball. The depth should be about the same as the root ball. Loosen the soil at the bottom and sides of the hole and mix in some good quality compost or well-rotted manure with the soil you removed. Gooseberries prefer a soil pH that's slightly acidic to neutral, around 6 to 7. When you're ready to plant, carefully remove the gooseberry bush from its container. If it's a bare root plant, soak the roots in water for a few hours before planting. Place the plant in the center of the hole. Backfill the hole with the amended soil, gently firming it around the roots. Water the newly planted gooseberry bush thoroughly. Section 6. Essential care, watering and feeding for healthy growth. Consistent watering is very important, especially during the first growing season. This helps the gooseberry bush establish a strong root system. Water deeply whenever the top inch or two of soil feels dry. Avoid frequent shallow watering as this encourages shallow roots. During dry spells, you will need to water more regularly. Pay close attention to your plant's needs, particularly when it is flowering and developing fruit. Adequate moisture at these times ensures a good crop. Once established, gooseberry bushes are somewhat drought tolerant. However, they will produce much better fruit with regular watering. Using a soaker hose or drip irrigation can be very efficient. These methods deliver water directly to the root zone, minimizing water loss. Mulching around the base of the plant also helps to conserve soil moisture. Gooseberries benefit from annual feeding to support their growth and fruit production. In early spring, before new growth starts, apply a balanced organic fertilizer. Regular additions of organic matter help maintain soil fertility. Healthy, well-fed plants are also more resilient to pests and diseases. Section 7. Pruning your gooseberries, shaping for success. Pruning is a vital task for maintaining healthy and productive gooseberry bushes. The best time to prune is during the dormant season. This is typically in late winter or very early spring, before the buds begin to swell. Pruning at this time allows you to see the plant's structure clearly. The main goal of pruning is to create an open, goblet-like shape. This allows for good air circulation and sunlight penetration. Start by removing any dead, damaged, or diseased branches. These should be cut back to healthy wood or to the base of the plant. Next, look for any branches that are crossing or rubbing against each other. Remove one of these to prevent wounds and potential disease entry points. You also want to thin out the center of the bush. This improves air movement, which helps to prevent fungal problems like powdery mildew. Aim for a framework of about 8 to 10 main branches. Gooseberries produce fruit on wood that is 1, 2, and 3 years old. Wood older than 4 years tends to be less productive. Regular pruning leads to larger, better quality fruit. Proper pruning is an investment in future bountiful harvests. Section 8. Managing common gooseberry pests and diseases. Even with the best care, gooseberry plants can sometimes face pests and diseases. Being vigilant and knowing what to look for is key. One common pest is the gooseberry sawfly. The larvae of this insect can strip a bush of its leaves very quickly. Check your plants regularly, especially the undersides of leaves from spring onwards. If you see small green caterpillars, you can often pick them off by hand if the infestation is small. Organic sprays containing pyrethrins can be used for larger outbreaks. Aphids are another common pest that can affect gooseberries. These tiny insects suck sap from new growth, causing leaves to curl and distort. They also excrete a sticky substance called honeydew, which can lead to sooty mold. Encourage beneficial insects like ladybugs and lacewings in your garden. These are natural predators of aphids. Powdery mildew is perhaps the most common disease affecting gooseberries. It appears as a white, powdery coating on leaves, stems, and fruit. Choosing disease-resistant varieties is the best prevention. Ensure good air circulation by proper pruning and spacing. By monitoring your plants regularly and taking prompt action, you can manage most pest and disease issues effectively. Section 9. Harvesting and savoring your bountiful gooseberry crop. The moment you've been waiting for is the harvest. Gooseberries are typically ready to pick from early to mid-summer. The exact timing will depend on the variety and your local climate. You can pick gooseberries at different stages of ripeness for different uses. For cooking, such as in pies or tart sauces, you can pick them when they are still firm and green. They will have a more pronounced tartness at this stage. For eating fresh, allow the berries to ripen fully on the bush. They will become softer and develop their full sweetness and flavor. The color will also intensify. Gently test a few berries for ripeness. They should come away from the stem easily when lightly tugged. Be careful of thorns on some varieties when you are picking your delicious fruit. Harvest your gooseberries on a dry day if possible. Pick them carefully to avoid bruising the fruit. Once picked, gooseberries can be stored in the refrigerator for several days. If you have a large harvest, they also freeze very well. There are so many ways to enjoy your homegrown gooseberries. The satisfaction of growing, harvesting, and eating your own fruit is immense.